Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Okay, so today we're diving into a topic that honestly fundamentally flips the script on how we think about the development of artificial intelligence. Right now, if you look at the tech world, pretty much everyone is intensely focused on building bigger and bigger single AI models, right? We're constantly hearing about massive parameter counts and these absolutely gigantic data centers. But, what if putting all our eggs in one monolithic basket what if it's actually pointing us in the exact wrong direction? Today, we're going to look at the data and explore this super fascinating shift from artificial intelligence as we know it to something entirely new. So, what if the future of AI isn't one giant model? Think about it. We've totally been conditioned to expect this single, all-knowing, super AI that can literally do everything from writing poetry to solving complex math. But what if the true future isn't some solitary giant at all? What if the next massive breakthrough actually comes from thousands of smaller, highly specialized models working together in perfect harmony? It completely shatters our preconceptions of what the next generation of computing is actually going to look like. Okay, let's dive into this. Part 1. Rethinking the AI future beyond the monolithic model. To really grasp where we're going, we first have to understand the massive paradigm shift we are currently undergoing. Let's contrast the current status quo with where the source material is pointing us. On one side, you have the one giant model. And honestly, think about how heavy and cumbersome that is. When a single model tries to know absolutely everything, it requires immense computing power, massive energy consumption, and it can be incredibly slow to update or refine. It's basically a jack of all trades. But on the flip side of the comparison, we have thousands of specialized models. This represents a beautifully agile, futuristic concept. Instead of one massive brain, imagine a vast network of local, nimble models that are each incredibly good at one specific thing. And that right there brings us to the pivotal shift. The next breakthrough in tech isn't just about making the models smaller, it is all about how they connect. The ultimate answer to the limitations of monolithic AI is what the source material calls AI agent networks. This is a real game changer. An AI agent network takes all of those independent, specialized models and finally gives them a way to talk to each other, to collaborate, and to act as a single, cohesive unit. Moving on to Part 2, the puzzle piece approach, specialists in the network. Now, what's really interesting about this is if you think of these models as interlocking puzzle pieces. These specialized local models aren't just isolated tools hanging out on their own. Imagine each part of this ecosystem as an elite specialist superhero, expertly managing its specific domain. You've got one piece over here that literally does nothing but focus on coding. Next to it, another model acts as a dedicated shield, handling cybersecurity. Then you have a specialist for pure mathematics, another that completely understands and processes images, and yet another that seamlessly manages complex databases. They each have incredibly deep, highly focused expertise. The source material summarizes this perfectly, saying, individually they're powerful. Together, they become a distributed intelligence system capable of solving problems far beyond the reach of a single model. I mean, it's just awe-inspiring when you think about it. One puzzle piece, let's say the image specialist, is great on its own. But when you snap these pieces together through intelligent agents, you create a distributed system. You fundamentally alter what technology can actually solve, moving way past the limitations of any single application. Which brings us to Part 3, how AI agents work, orchestrating the pieces. Let's see how this builds, because we know we have these brilliant specialized puzzle pieces, but how do we actually orchestrate them so they communicate and function as a unified system? Well, when a complex problem pops up, the agent network doesn't just throw it at a wall and hope it sticks. First, it actively dismantles the task, breaking it down into smaller, manageable parts. Then, step 2, it routes that specific work strictly to the best specialist model for the job. The coding problem goes to the coding model, the math goes to the math model. Step 3 is absolutely crucial. They share knowledge and memory. They aren't working in dark silos, they actually inform each other. And finally, step 4, the agents combine the results from all these specialists into one seamless, unified solution. It's a brilliantly logical workflow. Part 4, the distributed advantage, why networks win. There are some massive, highly practical advantages to using this network approach over that single super AI model we've been so used to. First up, we get better privacy. Because the processing can happen locally on specialized models, your data doesn't always have to be beamed up to some massive central server. Second, it is significantly faster and cheaper. You weren't spinning up a trillion parameter giant just to answer a simple math question. Third, by relying on specialists, you inherently get higher accuracy in those specific domains.
Fourth, it offers way greater scalability and resilience. Like if one specialist needs an update, there's no need to take down the whole system. So the crucial point is this final piece: Edge AI collaboration. This network approach allows different local devices to collaborate seamlessly across the edge, right where the data is actually generated. And finally, part 5, rise of collective intelligence, ecosystems of the future. As we look at all these capabilities, you start to realize we are building towards something really profound here. We're redefining the very concept of artificial intelligence into a much larger ecosystem. The future, according to the source data, clearly may not belong to a single entity at all. It belongs to a rich ecosystem of local models. But of course, an ecosystem only thrives if it's actually connected. These models are tightly woven together by agent frameworks, standard communication protocols, and those vital shared memory systems we just talked about. This infrastructure is literally the invisible glue holding the whole network together. And this brilliantly illustrates our final destination: collective intelligence. This is the ultimate reframe of everything we've talked about today. We are moving away from the solitary concept of artificial intelligence. Collective intelligence is the evolution from a single artificial intelligence into an ecosystem of specialized, connected models working collaboratively. Seriously, if you take away just one phrase from this entire explainer, it should be that: collective intelligence. Which leaves us with this final, incredibly important question. If we are truly moving toward a future built on collective intelligence, what does this new ecosystem mean for the everyday edge devices all around us? Think about the phone in your pocket, the computer on your desk, or the smart devices in your home. As they become collaborative nodes in an AI agent network, how is that going to change how you interact with technology every single day? It is a fascinating paradigm shift, and it completely changes the horizon of what our connected devices are capable of. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep wondering, keep learning, and I'll see you next time.